Spider-Man Brand New Day still has the exact same problem that every other MCU Spider-Man movie has. It doesn't really feel like a solo Spider-Man movie.
Let's talk about that.
The first two movies felt like the Tony Stark show. Peter wasn't an independent superhero and felt more like Tony's sidekick. No Way Home was closer, but with Doctor Strange, the multiverse, and villains that belonged to the other Spider-Man, it still didn't feel like the MCU Spider-Man's movie, and it was purely just fan service.
That's a crowd pleaser.
Brand New Day nearly fixes that. For the first time in the MCU, we finally get a street-level Spider-Man with that full superhero energy. He's dealing with threats in his own city, the story feels focused, and we finally get that long-awaited nostalgic spark. Like, yes, that's my Spider-Man. Then, all of a sudden, Jean Grey. I can look past the Punisher being in this movie because he's a cameo, but why is the main villain of a Spider-Man movie one of the most well-known X-Men? Regular Jean Grey is a hero, not a villain, and definitely not a Spider-Man villain. And don't come at me, she is the main villain of this movie. Damage Control was not in the movie as much as she was, and she crossed so many lines, okay? She's a full-fledged villain. Look, girl, we love that you're trying to find your sister, but you lose every ounce of sympathy when you kill innocent people so violently. Let's not forget about that old man she threw in front of a bus.
You killed everyone in the house!
When you abuse characters, and also when you prey on traumas just because you can. But the bottom line is, she should not have been the villain. First of all, why is the MCU against portraying characters correctly recently? But even if we want to look past that, even if we want to make Jean Grey a villain right out of the gate, why are we doing it in a Spider-Man movie? Spider-Man has telepathic villain, Mindworm, who could have been the villain in this movie. Scorpion could have just been the main villain of this movie. It would have been so much better than bringing in an X-Man. Why can't Spider-Man just have his own movie? Every other MCU hero with a movie keeps it in the family. Captain America, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Ant-Man, the list goes on. They get their own movie with their own villains, but Spider-Man never does. In the MCU, he always has to share his movie, which is honestly a shame because Spider-Man is the best Marvel character, and he can shine perfectly well on his own. Now, don't get me wrong, Brand New Day was a very good movie. Honestly, it was the best MCU Spider-Man movie. Not the best Spider-Man movie, but the best one in the MCU. But it still misses the mark because it refused to let Spider-Man shine on his own. Once again, he's upstaged in his own movie, and by an X-Man no less.
Well, I'm convinced, folks.
But what do you think? Comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie reviews just like this.